Number 10. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet is slowly building his acting repertoire in Hollywood, and so far, it's going really well. He starred as the lead in Dune and was recently announced to be playing Willy Wonka. It was also recently announced that he's seeing Kylie Jenner every week. While the announcement of them being a couple is a little out of nowhere, the fact is that Kylie has been co-parenting her 2 kids with Travis Scott, and he did not appreciate the secrecy. He said that he felt blindsided by the announcement, but respects her decision to move on romantically. This relationship isn't all that recent, however, as it was reported that the two may have shared a private moment or two during her marriage to Scott. Neither party have confirmed or denied those rumors, but just seeing these two in a picture together makes us think there's no way their relationship is fresh, right? Number 9. Megan Fox and MGK. Megan and Machine Gun Kelly first met on the set of Midnight in Switchgrass, and for anyone who is unaware, MGK has been slowly making a move to the silver screen. While it may be in smaller roles, his performances are anything but. During production of the film, it was forced to shut down due to it being March of 2020. Need I go on? While everyone flew home, these two decided to keep in touch, apparently being seen walking together only 2 months after the film was shut down. The slew of evidence began to arrive on Instagram. The relationship has been chronicled since the very beginning for all of us to enjoy, and MGK seems to be a good BF for the most part. But these two are most certainly doomed to fail into the pit of despair that is a broken relationship. Why, you may ask? I don't know, I'm not psychic. Or am I? No. Still nothing. Yeah, you got nothing. Number 8. Justin and Hailey Bieber. Before becoming husband and wife, Justin and Hailey were slowly building up their careers as a musician and model, respectively. They met while Justin was still dating fellow pop musician and former Disney star Selena Gomez and struck up a secret romance. Seeing as Justin and Selena were constantly on and off again, Hailey and Justin became closer and closer with each subsequent split, being friends at first but eventually becoming an official item in 2018. While they were both fairly famous, with Justin being a lot more famous, before becoming official, following their marriage, it's arguable that they have risen to a new level of success and recognition. Justin was one of the most replayed artists around the world, and Hailey has been working hard in the fashion industry, both on the stage and behind the sewing machine. While the relationship may be true love, the fame and recognition that has come with their new celebrity status will certainly be driving this relationship for the foreseeable future. Number 7. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. These two met in the most old-fashioned way around. Orlando stole Katy's cheeseburger. In 2016, Katy met Orlando at an event for the Golden Globes. They barely knew each other at the time. Katy asked her security team to bring her 10 In-N-Out burgers, and all of a sudden, Orlando's hand appeared from thin air, grabbed a burger, and ran off. Katy's first words to him were, "Hey, that's my burger!" It's so cute to imagine just a little Orlando Bloom running away like, "You can't catch me, I have your burger, nom nom nom." Kinda cute. They eventually met properly and began spending more and more time together in May of 2016, and they announced their official couple status to the world. Their relationship has been public and filled with fun pics. On their first Halloween together, the couple dressed up as former President Donald Trump and his arch nemesis, a woman. Nope, I'm just kidding, she dressed as Hillary Clinton. They did briefly split in 2017, but were brought back together after only a year apart. Since getting engaged in 2019, their combined net worth between Katy Perry's success as a musician and Orlando's stellar career on the silver screen, the couple share a roughly $300 million account. That's a lot of clams. Currently, Katy's place in the eyes of the media is that of a villain, following the reveal of her true nature on American Idol. She roasted a mom on the show, and it was harsh. We shall see if the relationship will hold up now that Katy's not getting those Idol checks every month, but I think it will. Number 6. The Weeknd and Bella Hadid. In 2016, Bella was on the cover of Glamour magazine, where she announced that she was dating The Weeknd. At the time, The Weeknd had just released his popular album Starboy, and while it received critical acclaim upon initial release, following the announcement of Bella, The Weeknd became a headliner in the news world. Questions being thrown left and right of who, what, when, where, and why. Since then, the couple has been going strong and seems to be using their celebrity status to improve each other's careers. Bella has maintained her modeling gig and now acts as a social media influencer, while The Weeknd has only grown in popularity, even being cast to star in a new series on HBO Max called The Idol, chronicling a fictional pop star's attempt to remain relevant and her meeting of a man named Tedros, a nightclub impresario with a sordid past. His role has been well received so far, but the graphic content of the show and Weeknd's role in it has made fans question the musician's creative aspirations, surely putting the magic of his celebrity coupling to the test in some way. I'm sure. Number 5. Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady. For those unaware, the NFL quarterback Mr. Tom Brady recently split with his longtime partner Gisele Bündchen, making him single and ready to mingle. Since her split from ex-Kanye West, Kim Kardashian hasn't been able to find the right fit for her future man, not without trying of course. In fact, the last gossip is that Kimmy and Tommy are secretly an item. The rumors began circulating after they were spotted attending a mutual friend's party in the Hamptons. The annual white party, which really needs a different name, was the C and B scene event of the year. Kim and Tom were seen being very flirty with each other throughout the night. The next day they were seen spending time together one-on-one at the beach, dipping and diving. They were also spotted dancing at a Hamptons nightclub that same day. Now they haven't confirmed or denied the rumors, probably enjoying the secrecy, adding a little mystery to their love life. While these two may be having some secret fun right now, Kim's track record suggests that Tom will be kicked to the curb like a football towards the U post thingy. I don't know, I watch the Super Bowl for the movie trailers usually, so sorry. Number 4. Al Pacino and Noor Al-Fala. Noor has been making headlines recently after it was announced that she would be bearing Al Pacino's spawn. The 29-year-old film producer was confirmed via publicists that Noor and Al had been in a secret relationship for roughly a year. At some point, we're assuming 9 months prior to 2 weeks ago, Noor became pregnant, which Al didn't take all that well. Upon initially hearing the news, Al had a little bit of a freak out and briefly broke up with Noor, instead returning to his ex-girlfriend Beverly D'Angelo. Despite his little pound and pounds so to speak, Al eventually returned to Noor with the intention of raising his newborn. This man is 82 years old. He may be a new dad, but it's not gonna be for very long. Wow, that's rough to say. Al looks more and more disheveled when appearing in paparazzi pics or alongside pretty much anyone, so we're not sure what leads him to believe he's about to be the dad of the year. He'll be lucky to make it to dad of the month. That's kinda up to say. Number 3. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. The Smith family has been at the top of the news storm recently after it was announced that her Facebook talk show Red Table was being cancelled. One topic that was brought up on the series before its cancellation was the revelation of an entanglement, quote unquote, between Pinkett and singer-songwriter August Alsina during a brief break the couple was taking in the early 2000s. Pinkett was quick to bounce back though after breaking up with Will, entangling with August, and eventually back with Will to continue the marriage. It's not all sunshine and rainbows though, as the couple still has marital issues to this day and have been plagued with cheating rumors ever since. They've been thrown even further under the bus by their own kids, Willow and Jaden, who have called the pair out on their lack of proper parenting skills and for essentially leaving them to their own devices. Together, Jada and Will carry around a dark storm cloud of negative energy and spread it to everyone they interact with. You would think these guys would just split and save each other the mental hassle, but just look at Will's house. That thing could fit thousands of people inside it. It has its own everything. Them splitting up would mean losing their fancy house, and we wouldn't want that, would we? But what I will say is that I think it's great that they're actually trying. That's nice. That's good. Number 2. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. Shawn and Camila were actually together a few years ago before they ultimately split in 2019. However, thanks to the human brain being the joy that it is, they couldn't stop thinking about each other and got back together earlier this year. Splitting and getting back together is one thing, but the public way they've done it is so in our faces. They collaborated together to make music to be like, hey look, we're here again. These two are so flippy floppy they might as well be pancakes, and now the world is forced to watch them kiss and cuddle with their tongues out over and over again when we know they are moments away from possibly ending the relationship altogether. Number 1. Taylor Swift and whoever is next. Sorry. Taking the top spot on our list is Taylor Swift, the queen of pop, who seems to be growing stronger and stronger with pretty much every breakup. She dated everyone from Tom Hiddleston to Maddie Healy with mixed results. As I said, with each man that leaves her life, a new hit single or popular album seems to appear from thin air. Recently, the news broke that she was no longer seeing Mr. Healy, the frontman of the popular band The 1975, after only a month of being an item. The last guy she was with took 6 years to get the goods out of. Whoever ends up being next on her list will surely suffer the wrath of Taylor. Will they be fast and furious like Maddie, or slow and steady like Joe Alwyn? Or will it just work out for the girl for once? I don't know.
Number 10. The Weeknd and Bella Hadid. In 2016, Bella was on the cover cover of Glamour magazine, where she announced that she was dating Abel Tesfaye, the artist behind the moniker The Weeknd. And I'm almost positive that's not how you pronounce it, but oh well, I've butchered easier names in my day. At the time, The Weeknd had just released his popular album Starboy, and while it received critical acclaim upon initial release, following the announcement of Bella and The Weeknd's relationship became a headliner in the online news world. Questions being thrown left and right though. Who, what, when, where, how did these guys get together? Since then, the couple has been going strong and they seem to be using their celebrity status to improve each other's careers. You see, Bella has maintained her modeling gig and now acts as a social media influencer, while The Weeknd has only grown in popularity, even being cast to star in a new series on HBO Max called The Idol, chronicling a fictional pop star's attempt to remain relevant and a woman meeting the man named Tedros, a nightclub enthusiast with a sordid past. His role has been well received so far, but the graphic content of the show and The Weeknd's role in it has made fans question the musician's creative aspirations, surely putting the magic of his celebrity coupling to the test, but the greed is present. Number 9. Justin and Hailey. Before becoming husband and wife, Justin and Hailey were slowly building up their careers as a musician and model respectively. They met while Justin was still dating fellow pop musician and former Disney star Selena Gomez, and they struck up a secret romance. As Justin and Selena were constantly on and off again, Hailey and Justin became closer and closer with each subsequent split, being friends at first, but eventually they became an official item in 2018. While they were both fairly famous before becoming an official couple, following their marriage, it's arguable that they have rise to a new level of success and recognition. Justin is becoming one of the most replayed artists around the world, and Hailey has been working hard in the fashion industry, both on the stage and behind the sewing machine. While their relationship may be true love, the fame and recognition that has come with their new celebrity status will certainly be the driving force that this relationship needs for the foreseeable future. Number 8. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Ryan and Blake are a tale as old as time. They met while either dating or married to other people on set of a film that Ryan prefers not to talk about, 2010's Green Lantern flick. While they were attending Comic-Con to promote the film, the audience could see an undeniable chemistry between the two. Only 3 months following Comic-Con, Blake announced that she was splitting with her Gossip Girl co-star, Penn Badgley, and not long after that, Ryan Reynolds and his then wife, Scarlett Johansson, announced that they were getting divorced. Almost like they plotted a slow burn breakup plan to allow them to get together without there being, too many objections. They became official in 2011 and have been together ever since. While Lively has had a pretty solid career in the film industry, she hasn't really been making many movies since her last role in the 2017 dramatic thriller A Simple Favor, but her husband certainly has been. Ryan has become one of the wealthiest men in Hollywood thanks to his multiple business ventures in the world of adult beverages, wireless cell phone coverage, and soccer, or football for our friends in the UK. He hasn't done this alone, and he claims that Blake is his good luck charm. He always consults with his wife on any business move that he's attempting to make, and so far so good, right? As Ryan Reynolds is rolling in business dough, and thanks to his new contract with Disney to star as the Merc with the Mouth in their Marvel Cinematic Universe, Blake just has to sit back and enjoy the ride now. Nothing wrong with being a little greedy when you've earned it. Number 7. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. While Justin was slowly taking over the pop scene in the mid-2000s following his split from NSYNC, his future wife, Jessica Biel, was making I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, which is when we really should have realized that Adam Sandler just had a really odd sense of humor. The couple met at a friend's party in 2007 that Justin was hosting. According to the couple, it was anything more than love at first sight. They met, they chatted, and Justin ended up getting her phone number from one of his buddies so that he could ask her on a date. Getting an actual phone number was a normal thing people did before they were just like, hey, what's your handle? Eventually, he wore her down, his words, and they were eventually married in 2012. While the couple have been highly successful in their respective fields, their combined power allots to a massive $268 million net worth. Between Justin's music and Jessica's acting gigs, the couple have created a perfect little nest egg for themselves that will surely keep their relationship going for a very long time. Number 6. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. These two met in the most old-fashioned way around. Orlando stole Katy's cheeseburger. In 2016, Katy met Orlando at an event for the Golden Globes. They barely knew each other at the time. Katy asked her security team to bring her 10 In-N-Out burgers, and all of a sudden Orlando's hand just appeared from thin air. It grabbed a burger and it ran off. Katy's first words to him were, "Hey, that's my burger!" It's so cute to imagine just a little Orlando Bloom just running away like, "You can't catch me!" They eventually met properly and they began spending more and more time together in May of 2016, and they announced their official coupling status to the world. Their relationship has been public and filled with fun pics. In fact, on their first Halloween together, the couple dressed up as the former president Donald Trump and his arch nemesis, a woman. No, I'm just kidding, it was Hillary Clinton. They did briefly split in 2017, but were brought back together after only a year apart. Since getting engaged in 2019, their combined net worth between Katy Perry's success as a musician and Orlando's stellar career on the silver screen, the couple share roughly $300 million together, and that's a lot of clams. Currently, Katy's place in the eyes of the media is that of a villain, following the reveal of her true nature on American Idol. She roasted a mom on the show and it was harsh, and we'll just see if the relationship will hold up now that Katy's not getting those Idol checks every month. Number 5. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. Pete and Kim met one night in 2020 on the set of Saturday Night Live, a weekly sketch series on NBC that's been around since the early 1970s. The two played Jasmine and Aladdin in a sketch parodying the scene from the original animated film featuring the song A Whole New World. They had water and fake bird poop thrown at them. It wasn't a great sketch, okay? But I have to admit, it was pretty funny to watch Kim Kardashian try to make it to the end of that scene without passing out from laughter. Following the episode, the two had apparently begun seeing each other on the down low. The reason being, well, Kim was still married to the madman of Twitter, Kanye West, at the time. West had apparently speculated that the relationship was taking place as it came around the same time that he was being cancelled in the mainstream for some nasty tweets and views that he shared online. It seems that this relationship was one bred from a place of greed, however, as following the official divorce from Kanye, Kim and Pete actually split up, claiming that it had just fizzled out. But the reality was that Kim was using Pete as a way to push Kanye over the edge and just accept the divorce. When she was done with him, she tossed him aside and has moved on to the next guy. Don't feel bad though. Pete Davidson, he moved on right away, somehow encapsulating the energy of his sketch character Chad and just being like, oh, hey Emily. Number 4. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. The couple first met as co-stars on that 70s show where they played on-again, off-again couple Jackie Burkhart and Michael Kelso, but they didn't become a real-life couple until 15 years later. Before they met, Ashton married fellow actor Demi Moore, and Mila had been dating Home Alone star Macaulay Culkin for nearly 8 years, and I'm really curious why we didn't hear more about that. That sounds neat. In 2011, Ashton became the figure of public shame after Demi announced that they would be getting divorced following Ashton cheating on her with another woman. While the mystery woman was never actually confirmed, not long after this announcement, Mila Kunis and Ashton were seen attending the Golden Globes together, and they later confirmed that they had sparked a romantic relationship. At the time of the scandal, Ashton had slowed down in the acting world, but Mila was making movie after movie, starring in flicks like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Ted, and Friends with Benefits, which all went on to be hits. The press coverage on top of the scandal seemed to give Mila a boost in her career, and despite backlash and personal issues within the relationship, the couple are still together today. Ashton, however, has remained out of Hollywood's radar and appears to be under the impression that since his wife is famous and rich, he can just like mooch off of her until she's sick of him. Imagine in a few years, she's like, yep, I've had it, and a camera crew bursts in, throws Ashton a trucker hat, and he's like, you just got punked! Number 3. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen. For those unfamiliar to the football world, Tom Brady is considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, particularly during his time with the New England Patriots. His wife Gisele is also considered to be at the top of her field. She's a world-famous supermodel. When these two are next to each other, it's like the jock and the pretty girl from back in the day got together and they did not age. Like, it's weird. They met through a mutual friend in 2006 and quickly hit it off. He proposed after 3 years of being together, and they've been happily married since 2009. Now, let's talk dollar signs for a minute. During his time in the NFL, Brady accumulated a massive $180 million in net worth, which is pretty good, while his partner Gisele has a net worth of $360 million. Tom literally put his body in harm's way in the hopes that he might win a trophy, and all she had to do was fly to Italy and pose on a yacht. Man, maybe Tom should dabble in the modeling world, that'd be fun. The relationship, initially driven by fame and fortune, unfortunately dissipated earlier this year when the couple split and filed for divorce. Coincidentally, around the same time, he started talking about not playing football anymore. Yeah, coincidence. Number 2, Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. Andrew and Emma were the power couple of the early 2010s after starring as Pete and MJ in Sony's reboot of the Spider-Man franchise, The Amazing Spider-Man, in 2012. The film only spawned one sequel before Disney swooped in to buy the rights to Spidey right out from under their noses. During the 4 years that they were playing the characters, though, Emma and Andrew became a real-life couple and were appearing regularly in the public eye, like out on dates, having vacations, and of course being on set together. But that's what they wanted us to see. Emma and Andrew were another one of those couples that played on-screen lovers, and they just so happened to like each other in real life. 9 times out of 10, those relationships have PR written all over them. Coincidentally, only a few short months following the announcement that the third movie would be cancelled to allow Tom Holland the chance to don the suit for the MCU, not to mention, spoiler alert, Emma Stone's character dies at the end of Spider-Man 2, meaning she wouldn't have been involved in a third movie in the first place unless it was just like a bunch of flashbacks to better times, you know? 2012. Nobody misses you. And at number 1, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. The Smith family have been at the top of the news storm recently after it was announced that Jada's talk show Red Table was going to be cancelled. One topic that was brought up on the series before its cancellation, though, was the revelation of an entanglement between Pinkett and singer-songwriter August Alsina during like a brief breakup the couple was taking during the early 2000s. Pinkett was quick to bounce back though, after breaking it up with Will, entangling with August, and eventually getting back with Will to continue the marriage. It's not all sunshines and rainbows with these guys though, as the couple still has marital issues to this day and have been plagued with cheating rumors ever since. They've been thrown even further under the bus by their own kids, Willow and Jaden, who called the pair out for their lack of proper parenting skills and for essentially leaving them to their own devices. Together, Jada and Will carry around a dark storm cloud of negative energy and spread it to everyone they interact with. You would think these guys would just split and save each other the mental hassle, but just look at Will's house, man. That thing could fit thousands of people inside of it. It has its own everything. If these two split up, it would mean losing their fancy house, and we wouldn't want that, would we? Would we? Would we, Los Angeles? Would we, Los Angeles real estate department? Would we? Number 10. Jeff Goldblum and Emily Livingston. Jeff Goldblum is one of those celebrities that just kind of plays himself in movies, and we just love every minute of it. He's even got his own TV show where he kind of just does that, called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. You should really check it out if you haven't. In 2013, Jeff met Olympic gymnast Emily Livingston at a gym. He saw her from across the room and was instantly entranced. He started a conversation that must have gone pretty well because a year later they were married. At the time, he was 62 and she 31, leaving an, yeah, that's right, 31-year age gap between them. Much respect to Jeff for still going to the gym in his 60s, though we can all only be so lucky. The fact that he met a woman that he loves is just a little bonus on top. Many news outlets began to question the relationship, calling into question Jeff's behavior, but since day one, there has been nothing but love and respect between these two who share a genuine connection with each other. Their relationship has stood the test of time, as not only are they still together to this day, but they've had 2 children together, Charlie Ocean and River Joe. Even at the age of 70 years old, Jeff is the proudest papa we have seen in a long time. Number 9, Nick Cage and Alice Kim. Nicolas Cage is a man that should need no introduction, but honestly, his career has been all over the place, so let's talk about it for a minute. Nicolas is famous for making some questionable acting choices that have teetered between fantastic and just god-awful. Please get rid of it. While his luck in the film industry has been solid, his love life, not so much. That is until he met Alice Kim in 2004 while she was working as a waitress in Los Angeles. Kim was 19 at the time, and Nick was 20 years older than her. He told The Guardian that, "When my mother-in-law came to the house for the first time, before saying hello or nice to meet you, all I got was, 'She's too young.'" I'm sorry, that was a horrible impression, but I'm not doing my own voice. It's bad for Nick Cage's face. At that point, he knew the relationship would be an uphill battle, but they powered through, with Alice even starring in Nick's 2007 flick Next alongside Julianne Moore and Jessica Biel. They split in 2016, but during their time together, they had a son named Cal L. Coppola Cage, which is somehow both the strangest and coolest name I have ever heard. Number 7, Al Pacino and Noor Alfallah. Noor has been making headlines recently after it was announced that she would be bearing Al Pacino's spawn. The 29-year-old film producer was confirmed via Al's publicist that Noor and Al had been in a secret relationship for roughly a year. At some point, we're assuming probably like 9 months prior to a few weeks ago, Noor became pregnant, which Al didn't take all that well. Upon initially hearing the news, Al had just a little bit of a freak out and he briefly broke up with Noor, instead returning to his ex-girlfriend Beverly D'Angelo. Despite his little pound and pounce, Al eventually returned to Noor with the intention of raising his newborn baby. This man is 82 years old. He may be a new dad, but it's probably not going to be for very long, right? Like, Al looks more and more disheveled when appearing in paparazzi pics these days, or when he's even alongside anybody, like anyone at all. He just looks so bad. So we're not sure what leads him to believe that he's about to be the dad of the year when he'll be lucky to even make it to dad of the month. Number 6, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Kardashian momager Kris Jenner, much like her daughters, has had a rocky love life to say the least. Kris divorced Caitlyn Jenner in 2014 and decided to take a trip to Ibiza to cool off. While she was attending a friend's party, she ran into Corey Gamble, a former talent agent who was working as Justin Bieber's tour manager at the time. Sparks flew and the couple decided to continue their escapades, first being spotted together in October 2014 at a music festival together. The couple were inseparable to the point where a year later, Corey was invited to be a part of the reality drama series Keeping Up with the Kardashians, following Kris and her family's day-to-day operations. I don't know, it's trash, I just don't watch it. However, her kids weren't so stoked about the idea of Corey being their new papa, seeing he was 24 years younger than their mother. Despite backlash from the kids though, the relationship continued and they're still going strong to this day, so I don't know, good for them. Number 5, Patrick Stewart and Sunny Ozell. Sir Patrick Stewart is a prime example of a man dating a much younger woman. The Star Trek star and future wheelchair-bound telepath met his wife Sunny Ozell, who is a singer, in 2008 while out for dinner one night. Ozell is a singer in the States and was doing very well for herself at the time. She approached Patrick about his current production of Macbeth. She wanted to see it in Brooklyn, but it was sold out until the end of its run. Patrick then told her that they would be moving the show to Broadway soon, and he gave her his number so that he could, set her up with some seats for the show. Patrick has stated in interviews that there may have been an ulterior motive, and thankfully appears that that was the situation on both sides. Despite the 38-year age difference, the couple began seeing each other not long after Macbeth's Broadway premiere, and they got married in 2013. They're still together to this day and are genuinely one of the most adorable couples in Hollywood. They act like college sweethearts whenever they're together, and Stewart, who's now 82, has made it clear that his relationship with Sunny has given him a new outlook and has made his life perpetually more interesting. I mean, just look at the dude in interviews. He literally lights up. It's beautiful. Number 4, Dick Van Dyke and Arlene Silver. Dick Van Dyke stole the hearts of millions when he played chimney sweep and inventor Bert in the original Mary Poppins movie from 1964. Fun fact, in 1964, his current wife wasn't even alive yet. He starred in several classic flicks over the years, well into his 70s, even starring alongside Ben Stiller in the Night at the Museum series in 2006. Van, because I'm not allowed to call him by his first or last names for pretty obvious reasons, met his wife and makeup artist Arlene Silver at the Screen Actors Guild Award in 2006. Despite their 46-year age difference, it seemed that their connection was too strong to care. They were married in 2012 and are still going strong to this day, making them one of the few Hollywood couples to make it, and that's something that they should be proud of. Number 3, Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. American Horror Story fans surely recognize Sarah as various characters throughout the series, appearing in 95 episodes. She starred in a slew of thriller and horror movies over the past few years, but one Holland Taylor was able to look past that scary exterior. You may recognize Taylor from movies like Legally Blonde, the sitcom 2.5 Men, or perhaps George of the Jungle, the Disney comedy. The two met at a party in 2005. At the time, Paulson was dating fellow actress Sherry Jones, best known for her role in the series Succession. Despite there being a 32-year age difference between Sarah and Holland, Paulson claims that she was instantly taken back by Taylor's beauty, quoted as saying she was probably the most beautifully exquisite woman that she had ever seen. I'm sorry, this is so nice. While this would be their first interaction, it wasn't until 10 years later in 2015 that the couple would reunite while working on a project for Martha Plimpton. They slid into each other's DMs and eventually into the sheets. They've been together since their reconnection in 2015 and are going strong despite some backlash on their age difference. Number 2, Mary-Kate Olsen. Now, Kate may have grown up on the small screen with her twin sister Ashley, but nowadays she spends her time with a new life partner. His name is Olivier Sarkozy, the former French president's half-brother, which sounds completely made up. That dude's probably a catfish. Olsen, who is seen regularly in photos looking like a hostage being held by Olivier, is 17 years younger than her spouse. They were married in 2015, and around the same time, her sister Ashley was also dating someone who was much older than her, the director Bennett Miller, who is 19 years her senior. Mary-Kate and Ashley used to travel the world in glamour, and it would appear that along the way they picked up some finely aged Frenchmen and directors. Ooh la la. And at number 1, it's Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Many viewers will recognize Aaron's face. He's been a leading man in several movies over the years and a strong supporting actor, as showcased in his recent role as Tangerine in the movie Bullet Train alongside Brad Pitt and Brian Tyree Henry. In 2009, when he was just 19, Aaron played legendary musician John Lennon in a biopic called Nowhere Boy. The film told the story of a young John Lennon pre-Beatles fame during his adolescence, with a focus on his relationship with his family and his journey to becoming a Beatle. The film was directed by a woman named Samantha Taylor Wood, who was 42 at the time. Samantha is a producer and director, probably best known for her work on the romantic thriller series 50 Shades of Grey. It would appear that Aaron's performances as John, particularly the steamy sections, caught her attention in quite a few ways, and the pair began seeing each other on the down low. 2 years later, they were married and now share each other's last names, Taylor Johnson, and currently live with their 4 kids in Los Angeles, which is a happy ending to a happy list, I guess. I don't know. Number 10. The Weeknd and Bella Hadid. In 2016, Bella was on the cover of Glamour magazine, where she announced that she was dating Abel Tesfaye, the artist behind the moniker The Weeknd. And I'm very sorry if I butchered that name. At the time, The Weeknd had just released his popular album Starboy, and while it received critical acclaim upon release, following the announcement of Bella and The Weeknd becoming a couple was the headline of the media news world. Questions began being thrown left and right. Who? What? When? Where? Why are these guys together? Since then, the couple has been going strong and seems to be using their celebrity status to improve each other's careers. Bella has maintained her modeling gig and now acts as a social media influencer, while The Weeknd has only grown in popularity, even being cast to star in a new series on HBO Max called The Idol, chronicling a fictional pop star's attempt to remain relevant and her meeting of a man named Tedros, a nightclub impresario with a sordid past. His role has been well received so far, but the graphic content of the show and The Weeknd's role in it has made fans question the musician's creative aspirations, surely putting the magic of his celebrity coupling to the test. Number 9. Justin and Hailey Bieber. Before becoming husband and wife, Justin and Hailey were slowly building up their careers as a musician and a model respectively. They met while Justin was still dating fellow pop musician and former Disney star Selena Gomez and struck up a secret romance. Now, while Justin and Selena were constantly on and off again, Hailey and Justin became closer and closer with each subsequent split, being friends at first, but eventually becoming an official item in 2018. While they were both fairly famous before becoming official, following their marriage, it's arguable that they have rise to a new level of success and recognition. Justin is becoming one of the most replayed artists around the world, and Hailey has been working hard in the fashion industry, both on the stage and behind the sewing machine. While their relationship may be true love, the fame and recognition that has come with their new celebrity status will certainly be driving this relationship for the foreseeable future. Number 8. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. This is a couple that has been in the media headlines over and over again in recent years. The former Office actor shifted his focus to the producer and director side of the industry in 2018 with the release of his horror thriller A Quiet Place, considered to be one of the best horror movies from the 2010s. Emily and John were highly successful before they met each other. While John was playing the iconic role of Jim Halpert on The Office, he actually became a fan of Emily from her role in the film The Devil Wears Prada, admitting that he had seen it roughly 70 times on repeat. They were introduced to each other in 2008, around the same time The Office had begun its 5th season, and Emily was set to star in a biopic called The Young Victoria, about Queen Victoria during her youth. The announcement of their engagement came just weeks before the premiere, creating a little bit of extra buzz that they certainly needed, as the film was not well received. Since 2010, the couple have been seen supporting each other at premieres and collaborating together whenever the opportunity arises, which seems like a cute couple thing to do, but is actually just a solid strategy for getting butts into seats. "Oh honey, look, they made a movie together. That's going to be so cute. We have to go see it," said everybody. Number 7. Tom Holland and Zendaya. Tom and Zendaya met in 2016 on the set of the first MCU Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland's Spider-Man Homecoming. Zendaya was not unfamiliar to fans, as she had starred in a number of successful TV shows and films before stepping into the role of Spider-Man's love interest, Mary Jane Watson. Although her character wasn't necessarily all that present in the first movie, their time on set was spent laughing together and bonding over their mutual interests. It was announced that the on-screen couple were official just before the release of Homecoming's sequel, Spider-Man Far From Home, which fans weren't really excited about, as it was the final film in the 3rd phase of the MCU, despite Avengers Endgame just wrapping up the phase with a tight, tear-drenched bow. Following the announcement, however, ticket sales increased, and Far From Home went on to be one of the highest-grossing films that Marvel has ever produced. Since then, then, they've appeared one more time together on screen and have used their Marvel fame to secure roles with other major studios in several major projects. For instance, Tom is now under contract with Apple TV to star in multiple films that have so far received incredible praise, and Zendaya has made a name for herself in the role of leading lady as well, with her performance as Rue on the HBO series Euphoria, nabbing her a win for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series at the Emmy Awards, and the co-leading part of Chani in the recently revived Dune series. This couple seems to be taking their combined fame and using it to fuel a career rocket that's heading straight for the moon. Number 6. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Ben and Jen were a couple way back in the early 2000s, like 100 years ago. They met on the set of a romantic comedy flick called Giggly, released in 2003. While the movie may have flopped, a brief but lasting relationship was made. They went their separate ways in 2003 and maintained a solid friendship over the years, but when they went public back in the day, the media circuit ate them up, creating a small boost in popularity for the couple. In 2021, Lopez ended her engagement to Alex Rodriguez, and, coincidentally, Affleck broke up with his partner, Ana de Armas, and the pair reunited. Of course, things only went up from there. Their names were back in the media mainstream. A re-release of the Justice League starring Affleck as Batman was unleashed onto the world, and Jen was tapped to perform at that year's American Music Awards. There is no denying that apart these two are still famous, but together they're a powerhouse couple with limitless power. Number 5. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Beyonce and Jay-Z are considered to be the music industry's most beloved couple, first getting together in 2001, a year after they first met at the MTV Spring Break Festival in Cancun. Their first collaboration as artists was released in 2002 and titled '03 Bonnie and Clyde, and not long after they released their second song, Crazy in Love, which landed the couple a Grammy Award the following year. Their hit tracks, coupled with the media attention surrounding their relationship, seems to be one of the main ingredients of their family glue, as Jay-Z was actually the center of a cheating scandal in 2014, leading to the now infamous elevator fight. Despite the scandal and the fists, they stay together and have remained in the media mainstream ever since. Number 4. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. The couple first met as co-stars on That 70s Show, where they played on-again, off-again couple Jackie Burkhart and Michael Kelso. But they didn't become a real-life couple until 15 years later. Before they met, Ashton married fellow actor Demi Moore, and Mila had been dating Home Alone star Macaulay Culkin for nearly 8 years. Why was that not talked about more? What? In 2011, Ashton became the figure of public shame after Demi announced that they would be getting divorced following Ashton cheating on her with another woman. Now, while the mystery woman was never firmly identified, not long after this announcement, Mila Kunis and Ashton were seen attending the Golden Globes together and later confirmed that they had sparked a romantic relationship. In the time of the scandal, Ashton had slowed down in the acting world, but Mila was making movie after movie, starring in flicks like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Ted, and Friends with Benefits, which all went on to be hits. The press coverage on top of the scandal seemed to give Mila a boost in her career, and despite backlash and personal issues within the relationship, the couple are still together for now. Number 3. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. Despite what you may have assumed, these two did not meet on the set of the underappreciated live-action Scooby-Doo movie from 2000. No, instead these two met on the set of a little horror flick called I Know What You Did Last Summer in 1997. The Buffy star and the She's All That leading man were married in 2002 following the release of the Scooby-Doo movie, previously mentioned, where they played Fred and Velma. The announcement of their engagement came only a few short months before the premiere, keeping these two in the media circuit for a majority of the early 2000s. Their careers were steady from 1995 till roughly the mid-2000s, deciding to step back from Hollywood to focus on being the best parents they could be. It's all good though, thanks to their star power and successful projects before their retirement, they were financially set for the foreseeable future. Theirs is a slow game though, as their kids are almost out of the house, which will give them the perfect opportunity to return to the spotlight. Maybe they'll get divorced just for the coverage or something, I guess we'll see. Number 2. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas. Catherine Zeta-Jones met future Ant-Man star Michael Douglas after he had his publicist arrange a date for them. Despite it not going well initially, they agreed to a second date and now have kids and a happy, healthy healthy marriage. While their careers remained steady through the 2000s and early 2010s, it wasn't until 2015 that Michael would return to the mainstream, following his casting announcement as Dr. Hank Pym in the MCU's take on the iconic pint-sized superhero Ant-Man. He began releasing promotional videos with co-star Paul Rudd, and the buzz surrounding the flick became stronger and stronger. Following the successful release of the film, Michael began doing more press and interviews in which he got more in-depth on his relationship to Catherine. Catherine had remained fairly aloof in the acting world as she had been undergoing cancer treatments till roughly 2012. Following Michael's career resurgence, she decided it was the right time to capitalize and get herself back into the acting world. Her husband's success drove her to take roles in several projects, both good and bad. Morticia in the new Wednesday series. Great! The National Treasure TV series on Disney+. Burn it! Her career appears to be on the rise again. With the recent release of a third Ant-Man movie though, the couple are in for a fruitful future. And at number 1, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. It was love at first sight for Ellen and Portia after meeting backstage at a concert in 2001. At the time, de Rossi was not publicly out of the closet, and Ellen had no idea how to go about the situation. It took 3 years for Portia and Ellen to finally admit their feelings towards each other, and from there, things moved pretty quickly. The moment gay marriage was legalized in the States in 2008, the couple were married and are still going strong to this day. Now, while Ellen may have been famous at the time with both her sitcom and celebrity talk show, Portia hadn't really hit the mainstream yet, until she was casted to play Lindsay Bluth in the much-loved Netflix series Arrested Development. The show first premiered in 2003 and was not immediately receptive to audiences. Despite the stellar cast, which included Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and a young Michael Cera, the writing just really didn't hit home with fans. However, following the public announcement of her relationship to Ellen, the show picked up in viewer numbers. No doubt Ellen's fans curious to see what her new boo did for work. Arrested went on to have 5 seasons, however 2 of those seasons took place in 2013 and 2018, with the latter not even including Portia's character apart from a few green screen insertions. This, combined with the cancellation of Ellen's show, is a case of a celebrity couple driven straight into a ditch. Number 10. Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plans for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, weird way to phrase that, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about that. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada. So apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a great way to start a marriage. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that their relationship is the Hindenburg and somebody is gonna light a match. If you don't know what the Hindenburg is, just Google it. Number 9. Kristen Stewart. His skin was pale and cold, and that is how Kristen likes them. As many of us know, Kristen Stewart starred as Bella Swan in the film adaptation of the Twilight book series. She co-starred with Hollywood hunk Robert Pattinson as her love interest / vampire, Edward Cullen. The on-set chemistry spilled into their real lives after it was announced that the two were a couple and the world stood still. These two together, a match made in heaven. How much more perfect could it be? Well, turns out it could only be worse. Photos of Kristen kissing a man named Rupert Sanders were published by Us Weekly. Sanders is a director and had been working with Stewart on his upcoming project Snow White and the Huntsman. Not only did Kristen cheat on Robert, but Sanders was married to a model and actress Liberty Ross at that time, so he cheated too. She rightfully filed for a divorce in 2013 and has since gone on to marry Interscope co-founder Jimmy Levine. While Stewart's love life has been much better, as she's currently engaged to fellow actor and screenwriter Dylan Meyer, who she met on the set of a film in 2013. Oh, that's so cute. Number 8. Brad Pitt. Brangelina took Hollywood by storm, and when they began their relationship in the late 2000s. What many may not know is that this iconic couple were bred from a disastrous breakup between himself and Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer, best known by me for her role in the 1993 comedy classic Leprechaun alongside Warwick Davis, was actually married to Brad in 2000 after already being together for 2 years. They spent $1 million on their wedding ceremony, which took place in Malibu, and everything seemed to be going well until around 2005, when the couple announced to People magazine that they were going to be getting a divorce. Around the same time, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were working on the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith together. Rumors began to fly, and Brangelina was born. The couple officially announced their relationship a few months following the divorce from Aniston. They were married in 2014, but unfortunately Brangelina also filed for a divorce 2 years later. The relationship was a flop, but they adopted a bunch of kids, and now they have a decent life, so I guess that's something. Number 7. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Glenn and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they put themselves in are very similar. You may know Glenn from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and they're adorable. They seem to have a genuine connection instead of some PR forced relationship. It sucks though because they were both seeing someone when they met. Powell has been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris, who is a model, for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a very famous businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension and their partners didn't exist anymore, so they were free to be whoever they wanted. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new celebrity rom-com couple is sure to rise from their ashes. Number 6. Lindsay Lohan. This one hits home for me as I grew up with a sister around the time that this happened, and she was not having it. Aaron Carter is a musician who was very popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 2001, he started dating fellow pop star Hilary Duff, who had just broken onto the small screen with her much-loved comedy series Lizzie McGuire as the titular Lizzie. The couple were together for 2 years until Aaron suddenly decided that he wanted to date Freaky Friday star Lindsay Lohan at the same time as Hilary. Aaron eventually broke up with both girls by the end of 2003, but he accidentally started a feud that appears to have lasted to this day. While both were obviously mad at Aaron for his part, the young love made them mortal enemies. When Lohan hosted SNL in 2004, she made fun of Hilary on air by getting character actor Rachel Dratch to portray Duff during the cold open of the show. Aaron recently attempted to reach out to both Lindsay and Hilary, but he was denied. Rejected, yeah, you just got rejected. Okay, that's a Zoe 101 reference, but I'm just feeling nostalgic today. Doesn't have to do with Lindsay. Number 5. Kenneth Branagh. You may recognize Kenneth as the defense against the Doc Otts teacher and the liar from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Gilderoy Lockhart. He met Miss Emma Thompson, the lead of Love Actually, in 1987 while filming the BBC series Fortunes of War, and they were married 2 years later. They were once the most A-list celebrity couple in England's history, collaborating several times during their marriage. Kenneth directed Emma in a long list of projects over the years, but by 1994, their romance hit a major pothole. While filming his movie adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Branagh began a secret relationship, aka an affair, with Helena Bonham Carter, who had previously worked with Emma Thompson in 1992's Howard's End. At the time of the breakup, Kenneth and Emma expressed to the public that they would be splitting simply due to their busy work schedules, but it later emerged that the split was due to Emma having knowledge of the affair, and in 2016, she revealed exactly how her husband's infidelity affected her. She took this moment and used it to inspire her character's story in Love Actually, which has gone on to be one of her best performances to date. After breaking it off with Thompson, Branagh began dating Bonham Carter until 1999. Kenneth later got married to Lindsay Brunnock. Thompson married actor Greg Weiss in 2003, and Helena Bonham Carter moved on to the king of the macabre, Tim Burton, and had 2 kids with him before calling it quits in 2014, meaning that she is single and ready to mingle. Number 4. Chad Michael Murray. Many will recognize Chad as the co-star of several rom-coms from the early 2000s, most notably starring alongside Hilary Duff in 2004's A Cinderella Story, which is one of the most underrated movies of all time, by the way, just check it out if you haven't. Chad met a woman named Sophia Bush on set of the series One Tree Hill, in which they play a couple with an on-again, off-again relationship. It turns out their real-life life relationship would be just as rocky. The couple actually got married in April of 2005, but ultimately split up only 5 months later. The breakup followed a massive slew of rumors that Michael Murray had an affair with his House of Wax co-star Paris Hilton, and those rumors later were proven to be true. Paris had been dating Backstreet Boy Nick Carter for a few months when those rumors began to circulate, and he later revealed that his brother Aaron was actually the one that found out about Hilton cheating and told his brother what happened. Paris and Murray were never actually a couple, just the reason for several breaking up. Unfortunately, Bush and Murray had to continue working together on One Tree Hill following the split. Oh wow, that must have been just so much fun. Number 3. Debbie Reynolds. A bit of an older entry on this list. We need to address it though. Debbie Reynolds is a well-known Hollywood icon who ran the show during her time on the silver screen. Our younger audiences will recognize her as Grandma Aggie from the Halloween Town series. She appeared in various films over the 60s and 70s, including some alongside her then husband, one Eddie Fisher. Eddie and Debbie were Eddie and Debbie, it rhymes, it's cute. Eddie and Debbie were Hollywood royalty during their marriage. Debbie's friend Elizabeth Taylor was also a Hollywood icon at the time, being the lead lady in films like Cleopatra and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which is an aggressive title. When Taylor married her third husband, Mike Todd, Debbie was the maid of honor, and Eddie was Todd's best man. Not long after the wedding, Mike passed away in a plane crash, and Debbie and Eddie were there to comfort her. It appeared that Eddie got a little too comfy though, as himself and Debbie split only a few months later due to an alleged affair that Eddie had had with Liz. After the split, Eddie and Taylor were married only to get divorced after 1 year. The feud between Taylor and Reynolds was strong until they reconciled in the early 2000s and even made a TV movie together called These Old Broads. Oh, check it out. Number 2, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was the rom-com queen of the 90s. She starred in Hollywood hits like When Harry Met Sally alongside Billy Crystal, You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks, and Sleepless in Seattle, again with Tom Hanks. You may be thinking, is Tom the man that she cheated with? Well no, it was actually Russell Crowe. Russell and Megan were in Ecuador shooting their film Proof of Life when tabloids discovered that Ryan was cheating on her then husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, with Crowe. The news of the affair broke and spread around the world. Dennis quickly filed for divorce. Meg fought back hard against the allegations that the divorce was entirely her fault, as she claims that Dennis was unfaithful to her multiple times during their relationship. While Meg and Crowe ended up calling it quits not long after they got together, the film that brought them closer in the first place bombed hard at the box office, proving that bad press isn't always good press. And at number 1, Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny! Jack Nicholson is surely burned into your memory in some way, shape, or form. His turn as the Joker lives rent-free in my skull 24/7. From 1973 to 1990, Jack had an on-again, off-again relationship with Angelica Houston, who you may know as Morticia Addams in the Addams Family movies, or perhaps her role as the head witch in the movie Witches. The relationship finally ended for good after Angelica discovered that Jack was expecting a child with Rebecca Broussard, whom he would go on to star with in several projects. According to Angelica herself, she confronted Jack on set following the news, essentially cornering him in a bathroom so that he wouldn't be able to get away from her. She wailed on Nicholson left and right, and she's quoted as claiming that there was no kicking, but the rest of the altercation made her feel like she was going up against a prize fighter. Jack was apparently very quick on his feet though, dodging shots left and right, and eventually Angelica stormed off in a huff. Nicholson was only married to Rebecca for 4 years before they officially called it quits in 1994. Well, hopefully it was worth the savage beatdown brought upon by Angelica Houston.
Starting off our list today in the number 10 spot, we have Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. On February 19, 2019, news would break and claim that Tristan Thompson had cheated on Khloe Kardashian with her sister Kylie Jenner's best friend Jordyn Woods. If the drama couldn't get any more messier, Jordyn would then, on March 1st, 2019, address all the allegations when she sat down with Jada Pinkett Smith for a tell-all interview on the Red Table Talk show. And in the interview she would say, "On the way out, he did kiss me. No passion, no nothing on the way out. He just kissed me. It was a kiss on the lip, but no tongue kisses. No making out, nothing." While the couple would later get back together, sadly it wouldn't be the first time that the basketball star has been caught cheating on the reality TV star, as back in March of 2018 the basketball player was also videotaped kissing another woman just days before his and Khloe's daughter was born. And let's not forget when Khloe finally gave him a third chance, he would shock the world again after we found out that he cheated on Khloe for a third time in December 2021 after US Weekly confirmed that Marley Nichols welcomed a baby and the father was indeed Tristan Thompson. But I guess that's what happens when you date a man from Canada, as we aren't always as nice as you would think we are, because the world is lying to you. Number 9. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber first started dating in 2010, and from the start of their relationship, they were always off and on for around 8 years, with their relationship definitely being an interesting roller coaster ride, as one month they would be spotted packing on the PDA or walking hand in hand. The next moment, they would both be shading each other all over social media or in interviews. With many fans trying to figure out why the couple just wasn't getting along, we would all be left feeling pretty shocked after Selena Gomez's best friend Taylor Swift seemingly revealed that Justin Bieber once even cheated on Selena after she liked a super shady post about it on Tumblr. This would all happen after Taylor entered into a pretty public feud with Justin and his manager Scooter Braun. Taylor then went on to like a button on the post that read, "We haven't gotten to communicate our differences. You cheated on her best friend, then publicly sided with the man who made a revenge tape against her. Was she supposed to invite you over for tea? F out of here." Hey my little bobas, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what we might just cover next. And trust me, you definitely don't want to miss the tea in the next video. Number 8. Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson quickly became couple goals after they started dating in 2009. However, when rumors started to hit the web and claimed that the Twilight actress had cheated on her then boyfriend with married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Saunders, the internet would lose its mind and it would force Kristen to come out and issue a public apology for the scandal. In her apology, Kristen would then say, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." In the beginning, the couple tried to work things out through the scandal and they stayed together, but after a year they realized they just weren't meant to be together and they decided to move on and call it quits, crushing all of our Twilight fantasies in the process. Number 7. Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. At one point in life, we were all obsessed with Zayn Malik's and Perry Edwards' relationship, and then we would all be left feeling heartbroken in March of 2015 after rumors started to circulate online claiming that Zayn had cheated on the blonde beauty after he was pictured cozying up to a mystery girl. Zayn first tried to deny all the allegations by heading to his Twitter page to say, "I'm 22 years old, I love a girl named Perry Edward, and there's lots of jealous F's in this world. I'm sorry for what it looks like." However, in August of 2015, just months after Zayn decided to leave his boy band group One Direction, fans would be devastated after he revealed that he officially called off his engagement to Perry. The Little Mix singer then later alleged that Zayn did in fact cheat on her after she released her song, "Shout Out to My Ex," and shortly after, Zayn would then jump into a relationship with Gigi Hadid, so maybe she was the mystery girl after all. Number 6. Louis Tomlinson and Eleanor Calder. Louis Tomlinson and Eleanor Calder were together for 4 years before they decided to break up in March of 2015, with reports at the time claiming that their breakup happened because the musician just had a hectic work schedule. People magazine would even report an inside source told them they tried really hard to make it work, but it was just impossible. He was always away for 9 months a year and they just grew apart. But apparently, this just wasn't the case. Just after the article was published, Louis would then be spotted kissing another girl in Thailand, and after the picture started to go viral, rumors quickly started to spread online, and in them, people would claim that Louis had cheated on the social media star. Louis would then later confirm that the rumors were true after he released various songs about the incident in his debut solo album, Walls, where he sang about hurting someone he loves, and it didn't take long for fans to prove that that person was in fact Eleanor. Number 5. Niall Horan and Hailee Steinfeld. When rumors first started swirling online claiming that Niall Horan and Hailee Steinfeld were dating back in February of 2018, just after they were spotted getting pretty cozy at a Backstreet Boys concert. When they were finally photographed sharing a kiss in August of 2018, fans of the couple would finally get the confirmation they were waiting for, and the couple was in fact dating. But unfortunately, the two would have to call it quits in December of that year, and after they went their separate ways, it definitely didn't seem like they ended on the best of terms. As later, Hailey would even come out seemingly to shade the pop star multiple times on her Instagram stories when she released her song Wrong Direction in January of 2020. She even went on to allege that her relationship with Niall ended because he cheated on her. When she sang in her song, "Looking back, I probably should have known, but I just wanted to believe that you were out sleeping alone. Love me with your worst intentions, didn't even stop to question. Every time you burn me down, don't know how, for a moment, it felt like heaven. Love me with your worst intentions, painted us a happy ending." Hailey was definitely in her feels, but hey, at least she was able to write a fire song about it. Number 4, Tana Mongeau and Brad Souza. Tana Mongeau and Brad Souza first made things official back in December of 2018, and after they started to post a ton of PDA snaps together. But in April of 2019, Tana revealed that they had split after Tana caught Brad sending another girl some pretty flirty DMs. Tana would then reveal everything that happened in the YouTube video when she said, "A lot of crazy things happened at Coachella, and during it all, I wound up finding out a lot of really effed up stuff. I woke up the next day expecting to have like a private breakup, and I got online to see a bunch of screenshots of girls saying and showing a lot of stuff. Some of it fake, some of it not, going really viral about Brad." In his own words, Brad would also confirm that all the allegations in Tana's videos were true when he said, "What happened in her videos is true. There was a little bit of over-exaggeration to some of it, but what she said was going on is what I've done. I mean, I don't blame her for speaking her mind and her truth and her heat." Brad then went on to claim that he never physically cheated on Tana, but he did admit he was sending inappropriate messages to other girls when he said he was under the influence, and regardless of the situation, when he realized what he did was wrong, he wished he could take it all back because no one ever gave him what Tana was really giving him. Number 3, Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan. Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan made their first red carpet debut as a couple in 2018 at the MTV Video Music Awards in August of 2018, and they would shock their fans after they split just 1 month later. After their breakup didn't exactly end well, with both stars accusing each other of cheating on their social media accounts, Lil Xan first took to his Instagram account to say, "I feel like I'm probably being cheated on. I broke up with her because she was all over another dude." Noah later then came out to shut down all the rumors when she decided to write her own post on what truly happened after she took to her Instagram to say, "The truth is, I haven't seen him in almost a week. Every time we try to hang out, something always got in the way. I then saw a picture of a girl on a court in his story at 2 a.m. When I FaceTimed him later on, I noticed a hickey. He told me it was just a bruise. I decided to give him the benefit of a doubt and ignored it." Cheaters like to accuse their partners of cheating to make themselves feel less guilty, which is the truth. This isn't the first time this has happened to me, and I'm being forced to deal with some crazy allegations when I'm not even sure where this all came from. The singer then went on to call the rapper by his real name, Diego, when she said, "I've been there for you during your dark times, Diego. When you felt alone, like no one was there for you, I was. If this is your way of breaking up with me and breaking my heart along with it, then you've succeeded." Number 2, Charlie D'Amelio and Chase Hudson. When Chase Hudson was accused of cheating on Charlie in March of 2020, just 2 months after they were speculated to be dating, Josh Richards' diss track called Still Softish would spark the cheating rumors and accuse Chase of his infidelity. With the two publicly splitting in April of 2020, the relationship rumors would start to make headlines shortly after. Fast forward to July 2020, Charlie would then accuse Chase of cheating on her, and in August 2020 on Twitter, when she posted a now deleted tweet saying, "I hope she was worth it." In response, Chase would then take to his own social media in a since deleted post to say, "All of this drama is going on because I kissed Nessa when we were both single." Charlie then quoted his tweet with his post with a kiss and added, "Then you shouldn't have come over to my house after without telling me." The entire internet then started to freak out after Chase then posted a since deleted photo from his notes app where he seemingly called out his friends and other influencers for their alleged alleged infidelities. Charlie then went on to call the singer out again after she took to her Instagram to say, "Stop deflecting your actions onto others because you can't take responsibility, Chase." On July 8th of 2020, Charlie then took to her Instagram live to tell her fans that she and Chase had a very long talk and they just realized that they weren't right for each other. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Dove Cameron and Ryan McCartan. Once upon a time, Dove Cameron and Ryan were the ultimate Disney power couple. And if you're a Disney fan, then you know that the stars' relationship wasn't exactly pretty when their relationship came to an end. When Ryan accused Dove of cheating on him during a Q&A session with his fans, after a fan asked him what his proudest moment was, he would say, "Within 2 weeks, my fiance cheated on me and left me, and I almost passed away from food poisoning. I truly didn't think I would be able to make it through that part of my life. I'm proudest of the light that came from the darkness and my ability to survive and turn the anger and sadness I had into positive life changes and a new way forward." Ryan would then later talk about his relationship with Dove, and he would head to his Instagram account to say, "I think Dove and I fundamentally agree about our relationship with one another. We were young and immature, our relationship was dysfunctional, we were a bad match. She has made claims about me and about our past that I don't think are fair or even true, but she is entitled to her opinion." While the actor also claimed that he was also entitled to his own opinion, he then went on to explain that despite their rocky past, the two had no hard feelings between each other now. But talk about a messy breakup, and Disney definitely wasn't happy about this scandal, that's for sure.